Okay, now before we get into anything with this episode, you must know that the AC decided to go out, I would say 7 minutes into this episode. We did check the thermostat at the end, and it was coming in at a solid 82 degrees. No windows. Okay? Not a kiss of air, not a whisper of a breeze. And apparently these two siblings are paid actors because they didn't even wince. Okay? I had the Nile River running down my back into my ass. August, the brother, was in a full hoodie. Didn't see a bead of sweat on his face. But that's beside the point. Today we have just an absolutely gorgeous pair of siblings. You look at their face and you just think, were you made in a petri dish? The answer is no. At least that's what I've been told. But I was so excited to finally have two guests, especially two guests that were in the same womb. Not at the same time, but they did suck on the same teat. No disrespect to their mother, their beautiful mother. But this episode had some laughs. They discussed some trials and tribulations. Do you know how hard that phrase went in a 7th grade thesis essay? Sounded like the smartest person in the world. But if there's anything to take away from this episode, go call your sibling and welcome to Open Wide. I know off the jump, I'm going to be an HR nightmare in this episode. I can just already, from the questions I'm looking at, from the people I'm looking at, I'm going to be a nightmare. So just going to get that out there now. Perfect. I want everyone to state their name and their age.
Okay.
My lady.
All right. My name is Anna Young, and I am 28 years old.
Fabulous.
I'm Auguste Yung, and I'm 30.
Fabulous. So if we've put 2 and 2 together, I have 2 siblings today.
That's
I have
right.
a pair of siblings. We do have a third, right?
We do have a third. Shout out to our big brother.
Okay, he's home.
He's
Absent but not forgotten.
Okay.
Okay.
We love you,
today.
Axel.
He's 34.
Okay.
He's the biggest brother.
He's 34.
So there's a third in the mix, but I think for the purposes of podcasting, we're going to
Oh, wait, no, sorry. Correction. He's 35.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, he just turned 35.
Thank God we clarified
Yeah,
We
that.
got to get the...
Thank
Gotta get
God.
that right.
So I need to know from the jump, where are you guys from? Let's start from the top. Where do we grow up?
We were born out here.
Yeah.
So I was born in
In
Santa
South-
Monica Hospital. Anna was born in Huntington
Yeah, in
Hospital.
Pasadena.
Okay.
So yeah, we were in South Pasadena until we were like 6, and then we moved to Baltimore, Maryland. So we really grew up on the East Coast.
Yeah.
And then when did you come back here?
I came back 11 years ago for college
Okay.
and then have just stayed. And then he followed me.
I moved back after graduation for work.
Were you also in Baltimore for college?
No, I was in Boston. I went to Tufts.
Bitch, I went to Boston University.
Oh, for real?
Obsessed.
Hell yeah.
Okay, I need to know what is in the milk in Baltimore because the gene pool sitting in these 2 green velvet chairs is very strong. Very strong. Mom is Swedish.
Dad is
Yep.
Chinese.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you are one of those things, anyone who's listening, try to find the counterpart because your kin will be some of the most beautiful children you've ever created. It's insane. It's insane. So did you guys have a pretty idyllic childhood? Like, was it a sweet kind of what I would picture a nuclear family being?
Interesting. I mean, I'd say so overall.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I
Okay.
look back on my childhood and I'm like, I can't. Like, yeah, sure, there's shit like your parents do where you're like,
Yeah.
I don't know about that
Sure.
in hindsight, but like overall, no, I feel like it was pretty
strong.
idyllic.
Pretty
Yeah.
strong. Although I will say that's very sweet of you to say all of that. But like we were not necessarily like cool or traditionally beautiful.
That's a
in
lie.
Baltimore.
Anna was. I was not.
In Baltimore specifically though, Baltimore is very like parts of it are very black, but parts of it are very white. And we
Okay.
grew up in like the suburbia of Baltimore. And I feel like we were like some of the most diverse kids in our elementary school.
Did you guys experience any bullying? Was anyone ever mean?
Yeah, for
We're,
sure.
like,
But
loosely racist.
for sure. But I
Yeah.
think this was also the time as much as it was the place.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
like I feel like this was like early 2000s where it's just like, I don't know. Where,
Yeah.
you know, racism was comedy basically. So it was like, that's
Sure.
what was,
Sure.
that's like what you made fun of people
Yeah.
for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
But I was not cool.
But was
I
you
was
hot?
not-
Anna was pretty popular, I'd say. Anna was always a popular kid. I was not.
I
Was
didn't feel
anyone
like
home-
cool with the boys.
Okay.
Like I feel
Okay.
like all of my friends were like the hot girlies who like the cute boy. I got uninvited from prom.
No,
I actually
you
didn't
know
know
this?
that. I didn't know this.
Someone uninvited me from prom. It was
that's
our
capital T trauma.
it was our it was our brother's school, and he invited me, and then like 2 weeks later he messaged me and he was like, "Hey, this other girl who was very cool, very very cool, really wants to go to our prom, and like I think I'm gonna take her."
That's fucking
kid from
hilarious.
Did you already have the dress? Did you
That is
already?
brutal.
I was so excited. It was like the
No.
cool group of boys at the
No.
prom. I'm not even kidding. It was a bit traumatic.
That's horrific.
Yeah, he wasn't per se my crush, but
But he was someone. He was
someone.
your ticket to the prom.
he was my ticket to the prom.
Did you go anyway?
No, it was the brother school.
Wait, was this your prom or was this the
This
boys'
was the
school
boys'
prom?
school
Oh, okay.
prom.
So you went to an all girls school, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
Okay.
but and he went to the all boys school for high
For
school.
high school, yeah.
Okay. That's kind of horny. I'm not gonna lie.
It's weird. I mean,
seems-
to go off what Anna was saying about Baltimore, like Baltimore is such a weird place. Like it's hyper segregated
Yeah.
across like every possible line. So it's like not just race, but like religion, socioeconomic status. Like it's this weird grid of like if you're, you know, like a middle class Jewish person, like you live in this neighborhood and you go to this school. And if you're
interesting.
like, you know, an upper class like WASP, like you live in this neighborhood and you go to that school. And it's
And were you with the white Christian wasps?
we were this. I mean, the high
Same.
schools we went to were definitely like very stuffy, waspy
Mine
prep
was
schools where
probably
like
more
everyone played
diverse.
lacrosse and they had a summer home in Connecticut and had a golden
Sure.
retriever. You know,
Sure.
like that was the vibe.
And were you the family? I'm picturing because I know your mom's an artist. Were you kind of like an arty nature? Mom's in a caftan making granola at home, like.
It was definitely
Paint.
more of that than like in a traditional American family, I would
Okay.
say.
I mean, a little bit.
se.
Our dad's like a doctor, so
Yeah. But mom
we
and
weren't
dad
out. We weren't out like camping, you know, and doing
Yeah.
like nature walks or like.
But
you
mom
know.
and dad didn't fall into the like, let's join the country club in Baltimore.
Oh no, for sure
Sure.
not. Yeah,
Sure.
no.
They were like,
was not
let's
the
go to
vibe.
the museum on a Saturday.
And did you want to be in the country club crowd? Did you feel very other than?
There was
growing
a
up?
period where I was like, I want to be like a girly girl lacrosse player.
Yeah, I wanted the same on the, you know, I wanted to be like a white kid who was like good at lacrosse and
Yeah.
was named like Connor.
Sure, sure. Which is so ironic because the joke's on Connor. Okay, we have a hot ceramicist, we have a model graphic designer, and all the thing. We're gonna get into that in a second. But okay, so between you two, were you always buddies growing up, or were there some rough and tough years?
I mean, I'm definitely like a middle child where it was like, I would
you
say
neglected?
Axel, our older brother, bullied me a lot. And then
I definitely tortured him.
Anna would get in on the action too. So I was
You're
like,
the tormented one.
I was the tormented one
Okay.
for sure.
But
Although
we were
there were
also
still lots
besties.
of,
Like,
yeah, there
we
were
also
times.
did so much together.
Yeah, it was really weird. Like we would, you know, spend the whole day hanging out and we'd like build forts and, you know, like do whatever and like,
Forts.
yeah, just have a good time. And
But,
then,
like, I
and then
would
all of
also,
a sudden
like,
it would just switch up.
Yeah.
And then,
And we were like biting each other and like wrestling.
No.
That happened.
yeah, and definitely that was like Anna's go-to fight move was
Was
to
a
just
bite.
like bite the shit out of you.
I mean, to be fair, she was the only girl in the family,
Yeah.
so I think you really had to use all of your facilities
Yes.
to show your dominance.
I was the littlest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was pretty copacetic growing up. There wasn't like a chunk of years where you're like, fuck y'all.
No, not really. I mean, our oldest brother Axel moved to Sweden for high school.
Okay.
So he left to go to high school when I was like 10.
So you guys have a 7-year age gap, right?
6.
Okay.
He
That
was
pretty
also-
significant.
I don't want to put Axel on blast, but he was more of a problem child. So
Yeah.
like I feel like a lot of like attention went to that and like him, and so
Okay.
it was like
A little angsty.
a little angsty.
Definitely angsty. I
But
think
he also like dealt with a lot of shit.
no, for sure, 100%. Like he moved at a weird time. I feel like he moved cross country, left all his friends when he was like 10, 11, whereas, I was like 6.
Yeah,
Right.
that was
You were
also like an
4.
incredible experience for him. I feel like he like found his groove and like
Going to
what
Sweden.
was best for him when he went to Sweden, and he was like felt far more like he belonged there, and
That's
he made
amazing.
like an incredible friends. So I think like had he not done that, staying in Baltimore would have been like very damaging for him. So it was like a very incredible life experience for him to go there and then like experience that way of life.
But at the time with him leaving, was that hard for you guys to experience that as kids?
I don't
Or was it just a
really-
matter of fact? You're like, I guess this is just
I mean,
happening.
he would come back to visit, and we were always going to Sweden to see family. So it's not like
Okay.
we like didn't see him for like 4 years.
Okay.
It was just more like, oh, Axel's gonna like go do his thing.
But then did that make you two closer since he wasn't in the picture?
I guess so. So this would have been, I would have been like what, like 12? I don't know. I feel like at that point I was in middle school. I feel like I had my like friends that I was hanging out with. I feel like our lives were a little more separate then.
Yeah, I don't
I feel
really
like-
remember. I don't remember it being like such a pivotal moment. Of
Him
like,
leaving
he's-
meant
No, it
ecstasy.
didn't
Okay.
feel like a big thing. Like he was getting sent away or anything like that. Like he wanted to go. Like he was like,
Okay.
yeah.
He was
Okay.
ready for a change. Like
And I
Baltimore
think-
was the hardest on him for sure, because he also
Yeah.
we moved there when he was 10, and he got plucked out of elementary school like in 5th
10's
grade,
tough.
and then
It's a weird
straight
age
into
to
middle
move, yeah.
school. So it was like I was 4.5, so like I just started
just
preschool
started school,
and then
sure,
like had my
sure.
friends, So I don't
Okay.
think I think that is a difficult change for a kid to go through when you're like going into 5th grade with your friends, but then suddenly you're at a new school for 1 year, and then you're going to middle school, and it's just like,
And then off to Sweden.
Yeah.
See ya.
I feel like it made it
Okay.
easier for us though, because it was like, because we weren't very, I don't know, all that, we weren't like getting into trouble. So I feel like, I feel like it's a classic thing with like the first child, you're the most strict. And then after
Sure.
that, you're like, whatever.
And
so.
were you guys relatively good kids? Like, was anyone getting DUIs? Anyone in jail?
Never.
No, never anything bad. I mean,
Never,
we
like,
threw like
legal.
parties at our
Okay,
place and like
okay.
we'd get in trouble for that. And we're like
Okay.
caught doing little things,
I
but it was
illegally drove a
never.
car one time
Yeah, who
Same.
didn't?
Down-
Who didn't?
down a driveway, and then we nicked off the side mirror. Me and my bestie.
That's crazy. I didn't know that actually.
Stop.
Yeah.
You damaged the car?
Tough.
We scratched
Tough.
the mirror.
Okay, now riddle me this. That's bringing up a story where I did the same thing. I was 15, and an 18-year-old, problematic, asked me to pick him up. I drove quite far. I didn't have a permit, license, nothing. I was
get on a freeway?
tits out. No, but I was not down a street. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I drove my sister's car, and her cunt-ass friend found out, and Erica, my sister, made me tell my parents what I did.
No.
So was there like a nice allyship between you two?
Yeah, I
someone...
think
For the sorry, you go.
Well, I was thinking like in high school, I'd be like, hey, I'm throwing it. Like she would go out of town for like a volleyball tournament. Maybe like, hey, just so you know, like I'm going to throw a party, be cool. Let me know if like you guys are coming back early or something like that.
Okay,
Like when I need
okay.
to be clean,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that kind of thing. I'm trying to think if there was a whole lot of like narking though.
There
I
was
feel like
only,
no. Was there?
I feel like that existed like elementary, early middle school. And then once we got to high school and we were both older, it was like more of an
Let's be a
allyship
team.
between us.
Yeah.
Okay.
But definitely there was narking when we were.
Well, yeah, for
kids.
sure. Because but that's just like little kid stuff where
It's
you're
like,
like, they
Mom,
won't let me use the
August.
TV,
Sure.
whatever.
No.
Like,
Sure. You're trying to roll
August
each other
did
for
the-
no reason.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
I got in trouble for using too much conditioner. So
Mm.
kind of dark. Kind of dark there. So then who was the favorite growing up?
Anna.
You were the favorite.
I
For
was the
sure.
only
She was the
girl and
baby.
the
Okay.
youngest.
Yeah.
You had
And-
some things on your side.
100%.
Okay.
100%. I think I also observed what the boys did wrong and then was able to rework my approach to things
Okay.
in order to get what I wanted.
Absolutely. Did the same thing. Now, we love mom and dad. Is someone closer to mom? Is someone closer to dad? Do we have a mama's boy? Or is it a pretty even split?
I'm definitely like overall, especially growing up, have always been closer to my mom. But I will say as time has gone on and with time, like my dad has changed a lot as a human in the way he like approaches life and spirituality, and who he's a lot more in touch with his emotions in the past probably like 5 years than he's ever been in his life, at least having grown up with him. And So now I feel a lot closer to him, and I'll call him about like emotional things that are happening in my life.
So special.
And we can talk about it. So that,
Okay.
But my mom was always like the default person for me.
She was the emergency contact.
Yeah.
And do you feel the same?
I'd say I feel the same. Although I think I used to think that I was very much like I'm basically my mom, like personality wise. And
Yeah.
I think as time has gone on, I feel more like, no, I'm actually a pretty even split of a
Okay.
lot of my dad
My
too.
mom and August are both Leos. I don't know why I felt the need to whisper. I was like, they're Leos.
No, it's a secret.
Yeah.
Don't let too many people know.
Yeah. So they're they have they have the fire within them.
Okay. Which is interesting because you seem very calm, cool, collected, very chill
You
vibes.
were not,
I
you were
don't-
not
I don't-
there for the first 12 years.
I don't buy
of
into
his
astrology,
life.
so that's maybe part of it.
Yeah, he
but
doesn't.
I was, as a child, I was a very fiery
A
child.
little cantankerous.
He
a
once
bit.
I would
yelled
throw
at-
fits. I would like.
He once yelled at my mom when they were at Disneyland.
Okay, this is such
telling-
a bad
No.
look for me, but
Tell-
go for
no.
it. Yeah. Disney World, actually.
Disney World.
Awful
He was upset. I don't think I was around yet. He was quite young.
Okay.
Or maybe I was like, my mom was pregnant with me, and he yelled at her that she never brings him anywhere fun. And they were at Disney World.
At Disney World, the happiest
about
place on
that?
earth, where families will like save up for
Sure.
a long time to be able to like take their family
Yeah.
there, and like because it was our uncle was a musician in the like the parade band there, we'd get in there for free. And I don't remember this story at all, like from my own personal memory, but apparently I had been like napping in the stroller or whatever, and then they like woke me up and they're like, it's time for the, and I was just like cranky and pissed, and I was like, they like took me out of the stroller and I was walking around, I'm like on my feet, angry. It's hot Orlando weather, and then I'm like, this sucks, like you never take me anywhere fun.
Unbelievable.
Which, had they slapped me, I would have been like, fair.
I do think sometimes maybe just like a little pat, a little
He got a lot of like mouth washed out with soap situation.
You were
yeah,
soap
that-
in the mouth.
Yeah, there was. I had a bit of a potty mouth as a kid.
Did we ever get spanked growing up?
Yeah,
Yeah, early on. I
Okay.
think eventually it became the.
I think they phased that out, but
yeah.
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 For all parents, it was like we probably shouldn't do that.
Sure.
But early on, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I need to know what
I got
you
slapped
will-
once.
in the face.
Okay, I don't know if this is a pickles type situation, but
Guys, pickles is my code word, but we can cut it out if we want. But
we can think about it. I won't say which parent, but I called them something nasty, and I think in the heat of the moment, it wasn't even like a hard, but it was like
just a little
could've
something.
been-
and honestly, I get it. Like it was totally not. I'm not condoning any kind of
Do you want
Isn't that
to
touching of a child in any way, but like
do you want to tell her what you said?
I called
One parent.
I called one parent a hideous beast after we had been like, which is a hilarious insult, but
Hideous
I called them a
beast.
hideous beast, and then just like immediately was like, you're a hideous beast.
No.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
again, it's like, I get it. It's
isn't
fun.
it crazy as you get older? You're like, they're sleep deprived.
It's fair.
They've been feeding us 3 meals a day.
Yeah.
And what do I get? Hideous beast.
I mean, I have a dog and it's exhausting.
Oh,
so
yeah.
like, not that I would ever touch my sweet angel, but
sure.
like, it's
You get pushed.
you get pushed sometimes.
No, I think that's part of why, like, when you ask, like, oh, did you have an idyllic childhood? Where it's like, yeah, like being a parent must be so fucking hard. I can't
Horrific.
even imagine. Like,
Yeah.
so yeah, no, like, they
Right.
did, of course, everyone
And
has
nobody
complaints,
like
but they did
knows
good.
how to be a parent.
No.
Like you go into it, it's just like you're learning on the fly.
Right,
So-
right. Did you feel like your parents were very disciplinary? Like, did you feel like there were consequences for things, or was it a pretty free household?
Our dad was more of the disciplinarian than our
Okay.
mom.
Okay.
But like mom could occasionally, again, she's a Leo, so she has that within her. She's normally just so like soft spoken and sweet. But there were times where like if we pushed her buttons enough, especially if it was like the two of us kind of acting out a little bit,
That would
she
be.
could. But she
okay.
would start. Sometimes she would yell in Swedish, and then I was scared.
Yeah, that's when you knew to like stay away.
Yeah.
No.
If you heard Swedish swear words from like downstairs, you're like, don't go down there.
I feel like it would sound like speaking in tongues. And at that point, she has left her body.
Yeah.
She's out. Are you guys fluent in Swedish?
No, we can.
Fairly.
We can get by. I'd say my brother's completely fluent.
Yeah.
Like he
Okay.
lived there for long enough where he can like read books in Swedish.
And
I'm
I
not there.
understand everything. And then speaking, like, there have been points in my life where I've gotten there, like, in a more fluent basis. And then, like, if I'm not speaking it often. It kind of, I'll speak in
Fades a bit.
Swinglish,
Okay.
where it's kind of back and forth. But I understand everything. Like our mom would talk to us, or we'd watch TV programs, and it's like, what's happening, what's being said.
so cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not that useful of a language, but I like being able to.
It is cool to
speak
like
it.
whip it out. Though.
For sure.
Well, because you guys go a good amount, right?
I
Too?
try to go once a year.
Right.
Yeah,
was just there.
I was just there
Yeah.
like a month ago, but that was the first time I'd been in a long time actually. So I'm trying to go more regularly.
Okay. Okay.
That's our escape hatch plan if shit goes really south here, as
Can
if
I
it
come
hasn't
with?
already.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, great.
Sure.
On the parents topic, is there a secret that you guys have been holding to this day that your parents don't know? That you've been just keeping marinating in the back pocket? Was there a party that you threw in high school that they don't know about?
I have since confessed.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think I've told them about all the parties,
Yeah.
but there were a couple
Okay.
that I got away with that I was like, so it's like a criminal that gets away with it, but is so proud of it that you kind of be like, just so you know, I got away with it
There
when I was
was-
17.
There was one party that I walked in on. I was like, "There's no way that
And he pulled it off.
that mom and dad don't find out about this." And
Which one was this?
it was the one at the first house that we lived at in
Yeah.
Baltimore. And I remember I came with Anna, my best friend growing up, and she lived down the street.
Oh man,
And
I actually do remember what.
I walked up and there's just like beer cans everywhere, sticky floor, like things knocked. There was a flower pot that got knocked over out front.
What is this, a 90s
This became like
fucking
this was like
rom-com?
hundreds, maybe not hundreds, but like over 100
I was,
people
like,
came to this
looking
party, and it was
around.
like it got
And were they gone for the
out of
night?
control.
Or were they
No,
gone
they're
for the
gone
weekend?
for the weekend.
I think they were gone for the
And
weekend.
we were in
you
high
had-
school at that point, so we
Okay.
had more like they were like, "You guys can stay home alone and take care of yourselves."
And you pulled it off.
Yeah,
Pulled it off. Actually, you
didn't
know
get-
what? I didn't get in trouble, but I remember a fight broke out at the party between two drunk guys from like, rival schools or whatever.
So
And there was like the pool was like we had a pool and it was like half covered in a tarp, and I was like, oh my god, like someone's gonna like crack their head on the pool, and then
Yeah.
this is gonna be on like the local news tomorrow of like horror
panic.
story. But
Panic.
no, it all worked out. The only thing that happened was someone spilled a beer down the back of a chair that I just did not catch at all. Like everything else was spotless.
one of Mom's
and then there was
chairs, yeah.
one chair
And it was sticky.
that was like sticky with beer. And mom was like, what's it? And I was like, oh, like I had a couple friends over and
I
like we
spilled
might have had
juice.
some beers. And, our mom's like pretty like liberal and chill and from
She was fine with
Sweden.
that.
And it's like,
Okay.
oh, if it's just like a couple friends and you had
Yeah,
a beer,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
okay. Like, but I think had she seen the scope, she would have been
Yeah.
utterly horrified because I don't know if we can tell the Axel story of his friend who,
I mean, we won't name names, but we went on family vacation, and we used to hide a key outside the house for just emergencies, a spare if we had to get in. And one of his friends knew where it was and then had asked, like, I know you guys are out of town. Like, can I go hang out at the house and have some people over? And he threw a massive rager.
No.
When we were gone. My brother wasn't even there. And
the balls.
insane.
And then we had like a family friend who was coming to like check on the house every once in a while. And he comes over like
When the
as
party's
the party
happening.
is happening. So he like walks in on like,
Hundreds.
like 100 plus like 15-year-olds just like crowding around this house, drinking beers, playing games or whatever. And then, it's just like cockroaches when you turn the lights on, just like everyone just scatters and runs. He finds the kid cause I guess he like recognized him as like one of my brother's friends. So he like kind of caught him and then, I just remember coming home from Sweden and then that kid and his parents came over and we're having like a stern conversation. I was doing the
you
thing where I was like
remember
it
it like
kneeling
that?
down by the banisters.
Yeah, we both sat
like
on
just
the stairs
overhearing everything like this uber contrite like 15-year-old like on the verge of tears being like, Mr.
And in that moment, I'm
like,
sure he
so
thought,
sorry.
this is it. I'm done.
For sure.
My
At
future
that
is
age,
gone. Like that's
at that
it.
age, I feel like you feel like your life is over.
To be fair, to use someone else's house
Yeah, it's pretty
when
crazy.
you're
So
15,
bold.
that's pretty nuts.
My guess though is that Axel was like, yeah, throw a party, whatever.
Who knows?
Is
I
my
think he
guess.
was
I don't
maybe
know.
like
We don't
have
know
a few
that.
friends over,
Sure.
hang out in the backyard.
Right.
Have some
Not like a little
beers.
Project X moment.
No, it was
Okay.
it was
Okay.
sounding like Project X.
So high school, I want you two to describe each other, what you were like in high school.
Anna was like a cool popular girl in high school. She played lacrosse, she played
Well-liked.
volleyball.
Okay.
Did you do like cross country? You were like you were like a cool athlete.
Yeah,
kid.
but I didn't necessarily feel that. Like, again, okay, the high school that I went to, we were kind of like the nerdy, we got labeled as like the nerdy school where all the lesbians went.
Sure.
And then there was the cool kind of like preppier athletic school that was our sister school. That was like kind of across the street. And I think I had really great friends, and sure, I was maybe kind of cool, but at the same time I didn't necessarily feel that way. I was like painfully insecure, got uninvited from prom. Like the cool
That'll do you
boys.
in.
There was a group of cool boys at a neighboring high school that had named themselves or got the names the Elites. Do you remember this?
Self-titled?
I don't remember this, but this is very indicative of the private school scene that we're in, which was
Okay.
pretty awful.
Okay.
And I remember so bad, I was like, I hope one boy in the Elites like thinks I'm cute
Oh.
or cool.
Absolutely.
But they always liked the girls at the other schools who were more like traditionally white and beautiful.
But we're also probably getting fisted, and it comes par for the course.
Who knows?
Okay.
So I didn't necessarily feel, even if that was the outward projection,
That wasn't how you felt.
that wasn't how I felt. No.
Okay.
And I loved, like, I made such good friends at my school, and still girls that I like talk to this day and have great relationships with. So I'm like really grateful that I went there. I got a great education, all those things. But it wasn't like I necessarily was like, I'm cool. You know?
But you were still emulating something.
I guess
And
there was
still
Anna
a-
was cool, for the record.
Okay. And how would you describe Mr. August?
trying to think. August has always been like the smartest one. I feel like him and Axel, in my opinion, were always the smartest siblings. Like they excelled in school.
You were a scholastic boy.
Scholastic boy.
I liked school, yeah.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. I don't
Like,
even know if
he-
that makes me smart,
he
but I
thrived
enjoyed
in
school.
that environment. And when
Okay.
I started this new private school, I was getting like C's and D's, like doing not well. So I think I always like was kind of jealous of how intelligent he was and how like well he did in school. And then you had like I feel like you had a really solid group of friends that you hung out with.
I would say like my best friend from middle school and I both left like public school to go to this school together. So it was like the two of us were pretty inseparable.
Yeah.
But at the school I went to, it was like this like stuffy prep school where like you were cool if you played lacrosse or like football.
Okay.
And like most of the cool kids, like their grandfather went to the school and had like a wing of it was that kind of vibe. Like it was a
Picturing lot
small
of Vineyard
school.
Vines.
Yes.
100. It was
Sperry's.
I
And,
know.
like,
I had to wear like
Lily
a shirt and tie
Pulitzer.
every day.
Yeah.
And it was like Sperry. Like you had like the Vineyard Vines was like the cool kids would
Okay,
get those
okay.
and like seersucker. It was that kind of vibe where it's like Baltimore's also weirdly southern. Like it's split. Like Maryland's split on the Mason-Dixon line, but Baltimore definitely has a lot of weird southern kind of vibe to it.
But you know what I actually, now that I'm thinking about it, think is extremely cool about you from high school is that you were not actively trying to play into or like, at least from an outward projection, fit in with
Like
that
assimilate
archetype
to that type of
and I think honestly, as an adult, I'm like, that is cool. And I kind of wish I didn't try so hard to be like a cute East Coast girly, you know?
I think what it was I went to like in like the public middle school, I had my idea of like this is what it is to be like cool, It was like my friends and I were like skateboarding and doing that kind of shit. And then like when I got to this prep school, it was like, no, being cool is like playing lacrosse and having, I don't know, like the newest Sperry tops. And I was like, this shit is so lame. Like
Yeah.
I liked the school in terms of like the education I got. And like, that's why I wanted to go there was like, I thought the class, like it just had more in
what
terms of
child ever
that.
says that? I loved the class curriculum. The
I remember
syllabus.
I went and shadowed and they were like doing the classes they were doing. I just thought we're like, oh, that's cool. Like they don't have that at like the other school. But in terms of like the kids, like I remember the kids when I got there, like the person who was like the class clown that everyone thought was the funniest. I was like, this guy fucking sucks. Like this is your this is your king. Like that's lame.
But I think that is cool now that you were like, oh, fuck all that. Like, I'm just going to do my thing and hang out with the people that I get along with and think are cool. As opposed to me, I feel like I definitely tried to level up to like belong with a group of people that I didn't belong with.
I also think it just back then too, we were fighting for the male gaze.
You're
We
also
were
like fighting for your life.
100%. I'm like plucking my mustache
Yeah.
every day. I'm like making sure things are, wearing my Uggs and my Urban Outfitters oversized tee.
Do you remember like the Uggs with the denim? It would be Uggs with a denim skirt and like a little accessory belt, a little tank or tee from like Hollister or Abercrombie.
8.
But in the middle of summer and you're wearing Uggs.
Sweating. They have never smelled worse.
And they've never looked worse.
Correct. Okay, so then in high school, I'm going to say junior high into high school. Did you guys ever try to smooch each other's friends?
No, I don't think that ever
I don't.
I don't believe that for one goddamn second.
No, I swear.
2 years is a big gap at
No,
that
it's not.
time.
I was smooching a senior when I was a freshman. Now, is he gay? Yes. Okay.
There was a guy on his soccer team, and I won't name names, but I thought
So curious to know.
Okay.
we'll talk about it after.
Okay, but
I
maybe
know,
we'll-
not that I think he's listening to this, but he was like my ideal crush, and he was so kind. He was like one of the really popular guys who like I felt like wasn't like ignoring me. I played volleyball with his sister.
And would he come to the house and you'd like?
Oh,
have a
I know who
full
you're
straight-
talking
You know what I'm talking about. He
Okay.
would come to our volleyball games, and like anytime he was there, I was like so nervous. And he was August's year, so he was 2 years above.
He was a hunky guy, and he was actually very nice. He was like one of those jocks who was actually just like very sweet.
Sweetie
like
Pooper.
genuinely a
He was like
nice
a gentle
person.
giant. He was like,
Okay, so then past high school, even to adulthood. Hello, adulthood. You
Adulthood.
both have hot friends, I'm assuming. I know you have hot friends. Has there ever been any crossover?
I don't.
I genuinely don't
Think
think
so.
so. There's been a girl that you dated that like I loosely knew, but it wasn't like we were besties or anything.
I don't know why I have this idea in my head that he's hooked up with your best friend, who I'm also
I mean,
friends
I've had
No.
friends who have been like, your brother's so hot, and I'm like,
with. Me. I've said that.
yeah.
That was actually me.
Which is, it's always weird when your friends say that to you because you're like,
It's my
"That's
brother,
my
gross."
brother." Like,
I mean, I had that in high school, like people, but that was also with
about
like,
me.
yeah,
Oh,
which is, but that's also like kind of like I don't know, it was a thing. I don't know. I feel like that's every school. In my school, like if you had a sister who was like close in age or like.
Be like, hook it up.
People would just, even if it wasn't like maybe serious, they would just kind of say it to like, I don't know, not make fun of you, but as like a thing,
To
you know,
kinda
to kind of
razz you
just,
up a
yeah,
little bit.
exactly.
well, there was also your friend in middle school, HH, who I was in love with for a while.
Oh yeah,
Where is he now?
I don't know.
I think he's married.
Oh,
Shame. I don't mean to therapize you both, but I do feel like this is a missed opportunity. I feel like you both have fabulous friends. We need to mingle the two. You have no
I have
friends to say-
no single friends anymore. I have like my best friend and I are single, and that's pretty much it. That's what happens when you hit 30. It's
Yeah.
now it's just weddings.
there's also never been anyone that I don't know. I feel like sometimes people stand out to you, and you're like, that person
Sure.
is really attractive, and I would like to
But that
pursue
doesn't happen.
something.
Anna definitely doesn't want me dating any of her friends either.
I wouldn't say that. I think it would just be the dynamic would shift
Complicate.
a little. It would
Yeah.
just be like a weird. It's a
Maybe
weird
we need
thing
like
to
2
think about.
degrees of
Exactly.
separation.
If it was like a friend of a friend,
Right.
Yeah.
then I think that would be okay.
We'll
And
circle
not so
back
weird.
on that. Okay, then I want to know what was the biggest fight you guys have ever gotten in? From 0 to today.
The only one I can remember in like adulthood is like I yelled at Anna pretty bad when she was late to a lunch, but that wasn't even like that crazy. But like Anna's also, this is just like a PSA. This is like an LA thing. I don't know if it's a generational thing, like where just like everyone is allergic to being on time to anything ever. And that for some reason is just like such a pet peeve of mine.
I'm like, was there something else going in your life, perhaps, that made
I'm
it
sure
so
there was, but I
intense?
think this was also like we do family brunches like not infrequently, and Anna would frequently show up, not like 10 minutes, like I give you 10, 15 minutes
30
grace period.
minutes
That's
late.
totally
Okay,
fine. She'd be
okay.
like 40 minutes late.
And you just ripped her a new asshole.
On
After
that
like
day
the 5th or
specifically.
6th time in a row where that had happened, I like went in on her. I was really upset and really angry.
I will respond in a couple of ways.
Sure. You have the floor. You have the floor.
I totally acknowledge that has been a weak point for me in many areas of my life. However, I will say there has been a period of growth for many reasons. One of my best friends is extremely particular about being on time places. And it used to be a kind of thing of like, yeah, I'm just running late. It is what it is. You know, it's not a big deal.
Sure.
But it has gotten me in trouble at work before in the past. And this friend explained it to me in a way where she was like, it just means a lot to me if you are on time. That's like you showing up for me as a human and as a friend.
Okay.
And when I started to kind of think about it that way, not that you don't matter, but like it kind of shifted my perception. And then now I work in production and I have to be like the first person on set and the last to leave.
And you think that really shifted for you?
That really shifted it just because like it's my job, it's my career, like you
Sure.
have to show up. But there's been a lot of people in my life who have given me that feedback, like August included. And so for me, it's more of, like respect other people's time. And then if there's certain friends you have who are like, if you're 15 minutes late, I like don't care. So if I know there's more room to be a little bit, 5-10 minutes late, I will. But I think that big fight did change it because he was so mad at me. And he also like in the moment, you explained it with anger, which I wasn't responding to super well. But once like the dust settled and we were able to talk about it, August just like, it's not respectful of my time. It's not respectful of our family's time. Like
You worked through it.
Yeah. And now I understand it. And now it actually really bothers me when people are late. So I get it.
Oh.
The tables have turned.
Also, I like how you responded to that. Like I canceled you. You're like, I've been going through a
we were
period
just
of
in a court
growth.
case.
No, but
Yeah.
I mean,
I've really been looking at myself. I've been talking to the communities that
No,
I've
but it was
affected.
good
You're like a canceled
feedback.
Love Island
It
contestant.
was good feedback. It was like,
Yeah.
this is something that bothers me and clearly was causing tension in our relationship. And
It does bug
for
me.
the people
Yeah.
in your life that you care about, you're like, okay, let me not do that. And haven't I
You
gotten
did some
better?
introspection.
But this is like in everything. No, you've absolutely gotten better. But also, it's like I don't even single this just on you. This is like everyone I feel
Yeah.
like in my life is this way
Super
about like
late.
just showing up on time. You're like, whatever. This is a
Yeah.
tired bit,
Yeah.
but yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It
And
bugs
it
me.
really does bug me when people do that now, when you like make plans. Because I think also in my work takes up so much of my life now and I have to be so diligent about planning it, like my day out, planning my weeks out. So if I set time to like see someone and spend time with them, it does really bug me if last minute they're shift. Like, how people shift plans around.
Sure.
They're like, oh,
Sure.
actually tonight doesn't work for me, but I could do two nights for now. Or like that.
It's like it's
sometimes.
inevitable sometimes, but
Sometimes,
I
yeah.
just got canceled on for the third time for a first date
No.
in the name of work, and I was like,
That's
brother,
crazy.
brother,
Three
done.
times.
that's crazy.
We're done.
They
Day
can't.
of.
They can't. No, that's done.
That's it.
Right.
No, I
Also,
would be done.
you guys are fully professionals because no one has addressed the fact that there's literally a ghost in the studio. What is that noise?
That's
that
that was like a water
is it
heater.
the water?
I think it's a
I
water.
think it's the water.
I love how it just
Wait.
decided out of nowhere just to make a little crackle crackle.
Is that picking up on the
Probably
mics?
not, but I'm like, wow, you guys are
Oh
really
yeah, it
playing
just
it
shut
cool.
off. It just shut off.
Oh, there you go.
Petrifying.
I'm trying to think of
Okay.
our biggest like kid fight though. I think there
New
were just those.
Mexico. We need to talk about New
Okay,
Mexico.
yeah, New
Mexico
Mexico. That wasn't even a
is a-
fight. That was an ambush. That was an assassination
tricky one.
attempt.
And you poked his eye out? Is that the tagline?
Yeah. So just
Not
for
out, but
for everyone listening, we were on family vacation in New Mexico and we were at the hotel pool. And then we decided to do a chicken fight, as many siblings, families do.
I'm assuming you were on top.
No. Well, we were opposite each other. So I was on my dad's shoulders and
Okay.
then August was on our brother's shoulders.
Yep.
And I can be a kind of competitive person generally in
Self-awareness.
in sports and activities and games and all of that stuff. So we were, playing wrestling. I'm obviously smaller and was not as strong as August. So I decided to think outside the box and just start, like, fingers were flying. I was just poking him,
Just 2 fingers.
2 fingers up, poking, like more jabs.
And
I
it
will
went
say.
straight into the
Like
cornea.
right into my eye.
Cornea.
And
Did you
Scratched.
cry?
I mean,
must
he
have,
like
but it
could
was-
not see.
yeah, I was blind for like 3 days.
He
Which
was-
now in hindsight, it's kind of crazy we didn't go to a hospital or anything. But I guess our dad's a doctor, but he's a lung doctor. He's not a ophthalmologist,
Yeah.
optometrist.
It was, I did feel, I have since found, we should actually watch this. I've since found footage from that family vacation. And there are a few moments within it where I am apologizing to him.
I just
Okay.
wore like big Oakleys for like 3 days and
It's kind
like
of chic.
sat in the back like so just simmering, just
Just
so
so
angry,
mad.
so
Just
upset.
plotting your
Because
revenge.
this was like we went on like a 4 corners road trip.
Yeah.
That's what it's called, right? The 4 corners
Yeah, yeah.
where the states meet. And they were like, oh my God, like, honey, look at that out the window. I'd be like, fuck you guys. I
Stop.
can't see a single thing
Stop.
right now. There was a flash flood that I completely missed that we got like caught in.
Stuck
And
in.
everyone was like, oh my God, look at this. This is so, like, it wasn't like super dangerous, but it was just like an insane amount of water all
And
at
you're
once.
he was probably hearing like running water and the car like hitting a rock and there's like rain pouring down and he just literally can't see. So
Treacherous.
Yeah, I was just like, oh,
it was
whatever.
pretty
This
sad. But it was
vacation
it was an accident. Like I wasn't
Fun
actively
sometimes goes a little too far.
trying to hurt
Okay?
him, but that was a big fight. There was one time I do remember where again we used to hide this key outside as a spare, and
Yeah,
when
I
we
remember
came home
this.
from school, August and I would alternate. It was kind of far away from the entrance of the house, and so we would alternate who went to get the key, and it was always like whoever goes to get the key, the other person has to put it back.
Sure.
And then I think there was one time where like I got the key. I was being a menace. I got the key and then no, how was it? You got the key and I was supposed to put it back. But then he like opened the door and then I just locked him out to like force him to put the key back. And the rage that he felt, this turned into biting and scratching for sure.
I think I just have a strong sense of justice, I got the key, you put it back. That's fair. That's even
It
Steven
is-
right
it
there.
is
And then
fair,
I felt so betrayed. I remember I went and got, like, we had lacrosse sticks like in the garage, and I remember I took one and I like whacked it against the fence. And as I was like bringing it down against the fence, just like sheerly out of anger, mom was rounding the corner into the to pull up and park with like family friends in the car, and I like
you embarrassed
and
the
I was
shit
like
out of her.
whacking this thing, and I remember it like broke and like splintered, and I was like, that is so embarrassing for me. It's so embarrassing for mom.
No.
And I'm
then-
just standing inside
Just stirring that pot.
Yeah.
watching it all happen.
and then we get in fights a lot. The classic where like you hit your sibling too hard and then they start crying. You're like, shh, 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 don't tell mom. Don't,
Right,
like,
right,
shut
right.
up,
It's
okay.
please,
Like,
quiet.
No, it was a joke.
I'm
It's
sorry,
fine,
I'm so
fine. We're good.
sorry.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
But
So
we
pretty
were
benign
not. It was
overall.
pretty
Overall,
benign.
pretty benign. There was never
Okay.
anything like
Yeah.
truly.
I don't remember ever
horrific.
doing anything super violent.
Okay.
No. Axel was more the tormentor. Well, on part 2, when we get Axel,
Yeah.
we can
We'll
talk
drop
about some of
in.
those
Okay.
bullying
Okay.
Yeah.
tactics.
Fabulous. Okay, Anna.
Okay.
You're a model. You are a graphic designer. You're a producer. Did I make that up?
I guess we haven't like caught up in my career shifts.
I know you did
a
a
bit.
you did a recent shift.
Recent shift. I'm producing now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to know, if money isn't a thing, you could do anything. What would you be doing? Where would you be?
Oh, that's a good question.
I'm picturing you like frolicking in a moo by a lake.
Yeah. I do think I've always like dreamed of owning property and like a property, of course, but like
Sure.
a big, like a ranch or something, and having like lots of animals and like a garden and a greenhouse. And if money was just endless and streaming, I feel like I would have something like that either here in California or in Sweden, where our mom's family's from, rolling hills.
With the perfect beachy waves. Oh,
But I do also love working. Like I like having something to do, not all the time. That's like I would love to
you
just
like having a purpose? You like
I like
doing
having a
something
purpose,
with your
yes.
days, not just like,
sit, yeah,
okay.
not just
okay.
hanging.
Do you
But
get a little antsy?
I do,
Okay.
yeah. I enjoy calm moments and like having quiet moments with myself and my family and my friends. But I also really, I need to have like a task list.
I love that.
Because even I took 2 weeks off work between my old job and my new job, and I just moved into home renovation.
Stop.
I
I would see
literally
your Instagram stories. I'm like, is this bitch building a door?
No,
like, is she?
I started to like strip a door of paint to sand down, and then I lost steam. It's still sitting in the yard.
I mean, God
honestly,
forbid
at this
you
point.
took a nap.
Yeah,
You just rested.
during 2 weeks off.
Right. Had a little snack
Yeah,
on a Tuesday.
so I don't think
Okay.
I could just like do nothing. But I mean, owning a ranch or a property, that's a lot of work too with the animals and
Right.
yeah.
Right. Okay.
But I would love to do
So
that.
it'd be some nature vibe doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you, sir,
Yes.
are a ceramicist.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that your bread and butter?
No, it is not.
Okay.
I have a
what do
day
we all-
job.
What's the day job?
I'm an assistant in television.
Okay.
So I work at a TV network, and I assist 2 executives, one in casting, one in development.
And is the dream to do ceramics full time?
I mean, if you were asking me the same question of like you don't have to work for money, like you can do whatever you want, like, yeah, I think I would just I'd just do ceramics. Like that's definitely my passion. But I got into, film and TV because I was passionate about that too. But I think it's just, it's definitely like a machine that you're working into versus like with ceramics, it feels like just a hobby that I became like overly obsessed with and would just kind of do that with all my free time if I could.
But you also, I mean, you grew a following. This isn't like some little hobby, right? You have clients, you have people who buy your stuff. Like, is that another form of revenue for you?
Yeah,
or is it just a hobby?
No, I mean, it's definitely a side hustle, but it's not nearly enough to like survive on. Like, I think I had that misconception where like at a certain point when like I started getting more followers, I was like, oh, well, if I hit like this number of followers, then like I only need X amount of people to buy my stuff. And then I can just do that full time. And, I sell my stuff, but it's not like, it's just not quite enough to like, because it's also just so like labor intensive, time intensive, like materials are expensive. It's just like a slow process. Like you either need to be like a fine artist that sells pieces for like a lot of money, or you need to be cranking out pieces kind of like all day, every day that are like sell for cheaper, but will like
and are you
actually sell.
Middle?
And I feel like I'm somewhere in the middle where like I'm not at a place yet where I want to be like my own production studio, and I don't have enough time to like only ever make like fancy art pieces. Plus I like just like experimenting and doing lots of different things. So it kind of is like I kind of just like make what I want to make and then hopefully it sells and
just see where it goes.
Yeah. But I would love to do it more than I do now.
Okay. Now, Anna, when you see your brother on Instagram in a tight white tank, manhandling some clay, I'm assuming the emotions that come up for you are quite different than what come up for me. So what is that journey like for you?
I mean, I'm never looking at it like that, I guess. I see it and I'm like, this is such a weird question.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, you go, brother. Whereas I'm like zooming in.
No, I feel like I try to be so supportive. Anytime he's putting out content, I'm like, I genuinely
That's true. She's always liking and commenting.
Yeah,
sure.
I like the pieces he makes. I'm not thinking about, but it is funny because my friends will be like, oh, I saw that post that you're.
And you say, shut your whore mouth. Shut it down.
I need to cover up a little bit, I guess.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
I mean,
it's
I think
summer.
I will
I'm
say
dressing like a harlot.
from a marketing perspective, like it's probably helping you.
Yeah, maybe so.
But
Show a little clavicle.
I don't want to see that.
You know what I mean?
But like, I'm sure he also feels the same way if he sees like my modeling photos.
Right.
That's probably not exactly what he's like. He's probably like, good for you, but
from a distance.
Yeah.
We keep it
I
cute.
imagine.
We keep it. Okay.
Yeah.
No,
okay.
yeah.
Now, are there any pet peeves that you guys do that really tick each other off? Either noises, the way you eat brisket, like any specific.
I mean, we talked about tardiness already. That was kind of the main one. I'm trying to think
of. It's been improving, I feel like.
But is there anything August does? I feel like you've been in the hot seat. It's time to roast.
There's one. It's not so much like a part of his personality, but there is one thing you do in your life, and I guess it's gotten better.
In my life.
In your
Sounds
life.
so dramatic.
Your last car, the condition
That was
of
pretty
your
gnarly.
last car.
I'll cop to that. Yeah,
no.
for sure.
Not the exterior condition.
We're talking like food wrappers, dust, dirt.
Clay.
Yeah, it was. I didn't treat that car
trash,
very well.
water. There was one time I tried to help him. Like I had been riding in the car and I spotted just from the seat like 7 empty water bottles.
Brother.
This
there
is
was one time
I exercise a lot. I was.
It was
being
one.
active
I don't know.
and,
For me, I can't leave a single thing, like a little
Not a
piece
crumb.
of trash, even once a week. Because I have a big hairy dog. Once a week, I'll vacuum out the car if he's been riding in it. It just, I'm very type A now, though. I will say, like, organization, at the end of the night, everything has to go back in its place. Dishes are done. Clothes are back in the closet.
I'm gathering you're a little more lax.
I feel like when it comes to like my house and my space,
Yeah.
I'm pretty tidy overall. Like I want things to be organized. Like, yeah, sure, it gets messy.
Yeah.
But yeah, for some reason, that car was just...
That was a pet
that became a black hole. But I've been my new car. I've been much better. Been
new
getting
car, I will say,
regular
I looked
car
I
washes.
took a look around
Keeping
on the ride
it
over here.
Okay.
keeping it a little tidy.
The new car
Okay.
looks great. The old car was like, I was like, is someone living here?
Sure.
I mean, honestly
Sure.
though, like to give myself an out, I do think it's a little. I'm just so busy. Like I never like. I mean, that's a bullshit excuse. I heard it as it was coming out of my mouth, and I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I still have time to clean the car, but I
we're
just
all
don't.
busy.
Yeah.
We're all
No,
busy.
no, it's true.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
All right.
Growth.
I cop
That's what
to
I'm
it.
gathering. August, if you could design a perfect life partner for Anna,
Oh, that's cute.
what would he look like?
Oh, interesting.
External, internal, what's the vibe?
You know, I'm trying to think of your past boyfriends, and I think I've only ever met two. You only,
Like college boyfriend, and then
yeah.
yeah.
And they're very different. So in terms of like physical type, like I don't know exactly.
What he would look like.
I don't think
Okay.
I really have like one type.
I mean, I think it would be a lot of the like, you know, tall, dark and handsome.
Sure.
I don't know.
Sure. And do you want him to be like a little soft-spoken sweetie poopers? Do you want like an extroverted kind of va-va voom? I don't know why that made him seem like he had big tits, but like, do you want...
that's what that means.
Okay.
Ba, ba, boom,
Okay.
right?
Okay. Just like a sweet caregiver.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want a sweet, nice guy for my sister. That's all. Yeah.
That's really sweet.
Now, I would ask you the same question.
Yeah.
But obviously, he's going to be like 5'5", brunette, big torso, little ankle. And I'm going to sit here and be like, feeling all weird about it. So
Like,
we're just
I'm
not
right.
going to...
I'm right here.
I'm not in the mood to be coy. So, okay, team. If you were in a Freaky Friday situation and you swapped bodies, what's the first thing you would do in each other's body? What an insane way to phrase that question. But would you fuck around with some clay? Would you, book a modeling gig? Like, what would you
Yeah,
want to
I'd want to
experience in your-
know what it felt like to be a model on like being catered to and have them
Okay.
be like, do this, do that. Like,
Be like objectified?
Yes.
Okay.
I would do a modeling gig.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's
You're like
such
walk
a
in front of
weird.
a train,
Yeah.
do anything.
I mean, I think it would just be weird to be in like a taller. It would be weird to be in a taller male's body.
It would be.
Like your boobs are gone. There's suddenly like an appendage on your body.
You can stand while you tinkle.
That would be actually be cool. I have always been like, that is so convenient that you can just be standing and peeing.
But also sitting down and peeing is pretty tea.
It's like
you can
relaxing.
have a little rest.
But you know when you're like on the go, you're like, I'm on a road trip. Guys
Sure.
are like, let me just pull on the side of the
Sure.
road real quick.
and quote
Or, like,
shake it off.
bottle.
I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
No, it's crazy.
So
Okay.
I guess like pee.
Yeah. Or just exist in the world as a male.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, walk down the sidewalk without fear.
Yeah. At night.
Out
Yeah.
night,
Yeah.
late
yeah,
at
yeah.
night.
Yeah. Fabulous.
Yeah.
Now, how do you guys feel your relationship has changed looking back from when you guys were young to now? What do you think has been the biggest shift?
I mean, for me, like the past few years, I remember there was a specific moment in college. Like we were obviously always really close growing up. But then in college, I started to observe like my friends were calling their siblings a lot, or like their siblings would come to college and stay with them and like visit. And I was like, I don't really do that with my brothers. Like we'd see each other on Thanksgiving and Christmas, summer vacation. But I was like, I don't really like call my brothers. Like, I don't really know what's going on in their life.
Right.
And then I just kind of decided in that moment, like, I don't want to like continue my life without feeling like I have like a close relationship to my brothers or know what's going on in their life. And so then I think I called like I maybe called Axel, and I kind of said that in so many words of like, I just like want us to be closer. I want us to like know where we're at in each other's lives and have a little bit more presence in some way. And then I think especially in the last couple of years, like one of our parents has gone through a big shift in their health. And it, for me, changed the outlook of like the future and just like at the end of the day when your parents leaves, like you have your siblings or who you have left.
Totally.
So I never wanted to like look back on my life and be like, I didn't have a strong relationship with my brothers or couldn't rely on them for things. And when my mom always said that like when her parents passed away, it was the last bit of growing up she had to do, but that she always had her brother to like lean on.
Yeah.
And I think we've also witnessed a lot of like sibling fighting in our family with like extended family members.
Sure.
And I always said to the boys, I was like, let's not be like that, you know? But for sure, it was like the change in one of our parents' health that really shifted like future and just being
Brought you
very
guys
like
closer.
there and present and being a lot more like, I want to be super present in all the time that we're spending with each other. And I think that also played into then me being like, I need to show up on time and be more present within my family when I am there, not like on my phone or doing other things. So yeah.
Well, I think it also helps that you guys live geographically close.
Yeah, I mean, we're like
right?
a mile away from each
Yeah.
other. And I feel
Yeah.
like that was a big thing. And also just, I feel like being an adult, like you're no longer, you know, the gap between like 9th grade and 7th grade is huge when you're
Yeah,
that age
sure.
versus now it's like 28 to 30, you know, it's like basically the same thing. And so I feel like we're just, I don't know, we run in like similar circles. There's more like overlap. So
Yeah.
it feels,
He's really close with Julia, who's like my best friend, you know, so
yeah, we do pottery together. So
Cute.
it's like
Cute.
there's
I feel like there's just more like natural overlap.
Yeah.
Whereas, yeah.
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 And when you look back, what do you think your sibling needed the most as a kid? Like I think about my sister and I think she just needed a little bit more freedom or a little bit
Yeah.
more grace to be her angsty teen self.
Yeah.
I probably needed a therapist. Absolutely.
I mean, didn't
you
we
know
all?
what I mean?
Didn't we all?
But what do you think that you guys like respectively needed?
That's a good question. I don't know. Maybe like, because I do remember being like the school thing being difficult because I think like Axel and I had a pretty easy time in school. And then our dad was so big on like education and like you have to do well in school kind of thing. And I think that was definitely like a big burden on you. And then you look back in hindsight and it's like, however you did in high school, like who gives a shit? Like it doesn't matter at all. You know, it's like, and doesn't really even correlate to any kind of like real intelligence or success or anything like that. So I think like just, you know, maybe a bit of like validation when you were younger. It's like, this shit doesn't really matter. Like as long as you're like trying hard and trying to learn, like whatever.
Yeah.
And what about for
Thanks.
you?
I think for Og, like there are a lot of like improperly channeled emotions. I think I think you have always been a big feeler, but when you felt, you sometimes didn't channel it the right way.
Fair.
So I don't know, maybe something to help channel that. And I think like
Therapy.
therapy or like structure. Like you operate really well when you have structure and you know how to like anticipate changes or something coming. Like August doesn't like when I think this had to do with the timing thing, when like plans shift quickly or that like the way a day was planned out is not executed as such. Like if we say we're going to go do the podcast at 2 and then I'm like, let's, you know, we're shifting it, we're doing it, then it kind of messes up his like flow.
Yeah, it does bug me like my parents took me to a child psychologist when I was a kid to understand this because I would like freak out if like plans changed and stuff, and they're like, whoa, this is more than just like normal. Like he doesn't like the plan. It was like, I mean, I was never like diagnosed, but I think and this is also very like hack to be like, oh, I'm a little autistic, you know, but it's like there was for that specific thing, there's a little bit of like, there's maybe like a little bit of like
Just a
Asperger's
kiss
of
in
like,
there.
don't like, if I have an idea of how I'm going to
Something's
plan out
gonna
my day
go.
and someone's like, oh, let's just do this. And so I'm like, no, don't do that.
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
do that to me.
Yeah.
Right.
Which
I
is
don't know,
crazy.
so
And I think
just-
I've gotten better in general, like as an adult being like, I think in general, I'm pretty chill, go with the flow. But if I get an idea in my head of like, I want to do these things or whatever, then I am kind of like,
Just
I got to do those things.
A way to channel that energy. But you were in like art classes and stuff. I don't know. You were a peaceful kid. So.
Yeah. I love it.
More hugs from your sister. Less torturing by me.
Yeah,
Less
less
in the
bullying.
eye.
Less bullying from
Yeah,
my
it was a
siblings would have been
little-
good.
Okay. Well, you guys made it.
We made it.
We,
Here we are.
you know, I ask the same question with every episode, but I'm going to change it a little bit with you both.
Okay.
So I usually ask, what do you wish more people understood about you? But I'm curious, with you two specifically, what do you wish August knew about you? And what do you wish Anna knew about you? It can be something as innocuous as, I really wish you would fold your socks. Yeah. Or like, I wish you would stop dating clowns, you know?
In a lot of ways, like aside from, you know, like a few best friends, like, you know, you guys know me at my most, like you've seen me at my absolute worst that I don't, you know, and like the highs and lows. I feel like you guys actually do understand me
Yeah.
pretty well.
Yeah.
So I can't think of like a thing that I'm like,
hiding
that you don't
or-
know this about
sure.
me, that I'm actually
Sure.
really like
That's totally
X or really
fine.
like
yeah.
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 this way. I feel like you guys know all the kind of like
Yeah.
warts and all, you know?
I mean, I think for me, like, I've never really said it to you or Axel or mom and dad, but 2024 was like one of the worst years of my life.
Yeah.
I will say that.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just, there was so much change. Our paternal grandmother passed away right before 2024. And she was the last living grandparent. And that was like a really weird, I don't know, like growing up
Yeah.
or like step in life. And then a really big breakup, our parents' health. Like there was just so much that was happening. And I genuinely don't think I would have gotten through that year were it not for my family and my dog. Like it really just broke me. And I don't think I ever said that to you guys, but I was suffering. And I think there was a lightness about like being able to call you, call Axel, call mom, and just like be with the family that I was like, okay, I'm going to keep carrying myself forward. So
That's so special.
I don't think I ever said that, but
That's sweet.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, what did we learn today? A, you guys were made in a lab. Okay.
I
number
remembered
one.
that I was nearly poisoned to death.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
that was a
having
good one. I forgot about
flashbacks.
that.
You're going to need to tell me who that was because I don't remember which friend it was, but it also was unintentional, but I genuinely did not.
Put that deep
I
back.
believe
like-
they live in Europe now, if that gives you a
Okay,
hint.
yeah, I think I know. It was
We're gonna have to look some people up after this episode.
it was tunnel, like I felt like I was being pulled back in a little wormhole.
I saw you leave your body for a second. So no, but you guys are. I feel like through all the years, all the change,
Yeah.
there is such a strong bond between you two, and the fact that you both look the way that you do and you're nice to each other is a gift from the heavens. So just thank you so much. You guys are
Thank you
great.
for
Thanks for having us. This was fun.